Kapavia, let's begin with the breaking update. What we are learning that the UK Civil Aviation Authority has now issued a safety notice on fuel control switches of Boeing 787s week after when we are looking at the Air India crash. This is as per the FAA's notice in 2018, even as DGCA, which has sent a similar notice wherein Qatar Airlines voluntarily initiated changes. Now, what has now been said as far as when it comes to these safety issues, notices are concerned, at the time that it have been issued, could the Air India crash been averted if timely action was taken? Because now this is coming at a time when it comes to such kind of safety notice that seems to have been issued by the Civil Aviation Authority, and this is just coming even about a month before the Air India crash. Could have been averted because weeks before the deadly air crash, this is the UK Civil Aviation Authority issuing a warning on Boeing 787 fuel switch issue. Let's take a look as far as the date here is concerned. This is important, 15th of May 2025, and thereafter when we are looking at this crash that reportedly happened on the 12th of June next month 2025. Fuel shut-off valve mandatory action on Boeing aircraft. Now this safety notice contains recommendations regarding operational safety as far as when it comes to what has now been said, that the introduction where the FAA has issued airworthiness directive addressing potential unsafe condition affecting fuel shut-off valves that has been installed on the following Boeing aircraft: B737, B757, B767, B787. So there was a warning there. There was a warning that was given which require replacement, which require test and or inspection. Now these airworthiness directives has been adopted by EASA and may be downloaded as far as from its web page is also concerned. Let's get in a word from Arunil right now. Arunil, good morning. There was warnings, especially when it comes to Boeing 787 fuel switch off issue, and this has now been issued on part of the UK Civil Aviation Authority as well. What made it mandatory there and what made it as an instruction or rather something which is non-mandatory or recommendation here in India?
Well, good morning to you, Amita. Basically, back in 2018 itself, it was the US-based FAA, Federation of Aviation Authority. It had directed Boeing as well as all the airline companies which have been using Boeing aircraft, that also includes the 787, to inspect as well as properly check their fuel switch locking mechanisms. Here in the report, preliminary report of the AAIB, Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, it was mentioned that the Air India, basically the ill-fated plane belonged to Air India, and Air India did not bother to inspect or change their fuel switch locking systems.
Yes.
Air India has been saying that that time the directive that was given by the FAA, it was not mandatory, and that is why the Air India did not follow. After the accident or the crash that took place in Ahmedabad, we have seen that the DGCA
Well, let's speak to experts on this point, Arunil. Please continue to be with us. Mr. Panesar is connected with us. He's an aviation expert. Mr. Panesar, what do you take of this as far as when it comes to FAA guidelines are concerned? Because investigators also noted that there was a 2018 FAA safety bulletin that had warned about possible issues with the locking mechanism of the fuel control switches on similar aircrafts. Why wasn't it mandated as far as to carry out checks and inspections?
Well, you see, any issued by Boeing company, FAA, that is for the safety of the switches and all that. When it was carried, now I believe the head of the engineering department, Air India, said we have done the changes and all that. But in fact, they have not done any changes to that. Because I asked few pilots, they said there is no change, it is the same continuing. Now, what can you say about this? Because Air India said we have done the changes, but they have not done the changes. But when any safety circle, whether recommendatory, mandatory or not, but they have to analyze and take action for their own airline system and all that. But now even the head of engineering say we have done it, but they have not done it. Now who's to be questioned, who's to be taken action upon?
Absolutely. And Mr. Panesar, as far as when it comes to these investigations now are concerned, do you believe that the DGCA order is also coming at a time when few Boeing aircraft operators, mainly those overseas, have also initiated voluntary inspections?
See, the DGCA and the AIB functions after the incident has taken place. They don't work in it. They don't have experts and all that. Even if the circular come, they have no experts to study the circular carefully, or the engineering department and issue certain instructions to the airlines regarding any changes about the circular. They have to advise all the airlines. But provided they have the experts and all that. Now, that has to be seen. Many investigations in the past, they say that DGCA does not have experts in investigation of any incident and accident. I'll tell you an example. Air India asked for the permission for pilots to fly two types of aircraft simultaneously, 787 and 777. I wrote a letter to DGCA on the RTA, please let me know what study you have done to give them permission. They say we have not given any permission, the matter is under study and the decision is yet awaited.
Yes.
That letter I got on 15th of May, but on 5th of May they already permitted Air India to fly two types of aircraft. Now what do you talk about this thing? Same person signing the same letter. 10 days ago, they have given permission to Air India pilots to fly two type, and 15th, they tell me the matter is under.
Well, if it wasn't mandated and it was just an advisory, then why weren't advisories taken up seriously, sir, back then, as far as when it comes to certain warnings that were already highlighted by the FAA? Mr. Panesar, thank you very much for your expert point of view. You know, Arunil, coming back on that, because as far as today we are looking at if there was any history, if there was any warning, because experts that we have been speaking to ever since Saturday, when the AAIB report came out, they have been saying that accidental movement of the switches, the fuel cut off and run that are used to allow and cut fuel supply to the aircraft engines is not quite possible.
Well, certainly yes. If the warning was issued by the FAA, why didn't Air India initiate those changes? How can they basically get away saying that those warnings were not mandatory and that is why we didn't make those changes? I mean, it is again extremely criminal on Air India's part as well. They may be saying that right now the blame cannot be pinned on anybody. The AAIB has not given any kind of a diktat or has not issued any kind of a notice to Air India, but warnings were very much there by a top-notch, by a top US-based authority, basically aviation authority, that is the Federation of Aviation Authority. Still, Air India did not follow suit. After the accident now, 7 airline companies as well as regulators in different countries, be it DGCA, that is India-based, be it UK-based authority, be it South Korea, be it Qatar Airways as well, they have initiated inspections and changes now in the fuel locking mechanisms in the Boeing airlines. The question here is, more than 260 innocent lives have been lost. Only via a mere switch on and off, if people are going to lose lives like this, why those proper checks and balances were not done when caution as well as directive was issued by the FAA back in 2018? Why didn't Air India follow suit in 2018 itself?
Yes, even when it comes to advisories, they weren't taken up seriously, because now as far as the directive that has now been issued by the airline watchdog, the DGCA, let's put that out for our viewers. Because now what has been said, Arunil was pointing out that several operators, internationally as well as domestic as well, they have now started or initiated inspection of the aircraft fleet. And in view of when it comes to the airline operators of the affected aircrafts, they have also been advised to complete the inspection. As far as now what is being said, that the inspection plan and the report after accomplishment of inspection shall be submitted to the office of the intimation to the concerned regions officer. And what has now been said, that there is now a requirement of strict adherence to the timeline, which is essential to ensure the continued airworthiness of safety operations as well. So what has now been said, DGCA has ordered airlines operating aircraft to carry out inspection of locking mechanism of fuel control switches.
Well, that is right. 1 week's timeline or a deadline has been given by the DGCA, the Chief Regulator of India's aviation industry, to all those airlines who have been operating Boeing aircrafts, telling them that inspect your fuel locking systems or locking mechanisms immediately. The question over here, Amita, arises on DGCA as well. When the FAA had very much aptly said in 2018 itself to Boeing and to other airline companies, that also includes airline regulators as well, to inspect the fuel switch locking systems. Why wasn't it done in India by the DGCA? Why wasn't it voluntarily done by Air India? Now, after a horrific crash has taken place, more than 260 innocent lives have been lost. This is kind of a damage control method that has been initiated by Air India, DGCA, or a kind of a precautionary measure that has been initiated by aviation regulators across the world, be it South Korea, be it UK, or be it the Qatar Airlines.
Well, that's the point there, because as far as when it comes to these advisories that was back in 2018, the FAA said that the concern was not an unsafe condition, but rather had advised the operators of various Boeing models to inspect the switches. And as far as only an advisory that was issued, it was not mandatory, and the airline did not carry out the inspection, especially when it comes to that ill-fated aircraft. But there's been, when it comes to the preliminary report of the AAIB, that has now come out exactly a month after the Air India crash. As per the AAIB preliminary report, the fuel cutoff switches of both of the engines transitioned from run to cutoff position at the moment when the plane was taking off, and in the gap of 1 or 2 seconds. Now, this is crucial, especially when it comes to the pilots there inside the cockpit realized that something was amiss. Now, this led to the snapping of fuel supply to both of the engines, causing them to lose power. However, the report does not mention what caused the fuel switches to move. There has been a little bit of the conversation that has also been shared between the pilots there, one asking the other to do it, the other one replying, no, I did not. The preliminary report that also contains, as far as when it comes to the paraphase account of the communication that happened, why did he cut off the fuel? The other one replying that I did not. This is the only thing that, however, has been mentioned in the report so far with regard to the communication that happened between the two pilots in the cockpit. But soon after the report came out late on Friday night or early Saturday morning, some of the aviation experts floated the pilot's suicide theory as well, claiming that one of the pilots knowingly cut off the fuel supply. Now, this even as the Civil Aviation Minister on Saturday warned against jumping the gun or reaching out to certain conclusions, as well as the report is still, this is the preliminary report that has been shared. The investigation is still going on, and as far as when it comes to pinpointing the blame on someone is concerned, this is something that would be unwarranted.
I don't think we should jump into any conclusion on this. I truly believe we have the most wonderful workforce in terms of pilot, the crew in the whole world. I have to appreciate all the efforts the pilots and the crew in this country are putting into the aviation. They are the backbone of this civil aviation. They are the primary resource of civil aviation, and we care for the welfare and the well-being of our pilots also. So let's not jump to any conclusions at this stage. Let us wait for the final report.
So not jumping to any conclusions, the investigation is still going on. Naturally, when it comes to the pilot bodies, they are fuming. The pilots there who had several thousands of hours of experience flying, and they had met all the requirements there for taking off as far as this international flight is concerned. They were very well experienced in their work, and it would not be justified to quickly blame or shift the blame on the pilots who are no longer there to defend themselves. The pilot bodies are also fuming over the preliminary findings, saying that the investigation is now pointing towards a bias and towards pilot error. Now, after the Airline Pilots Association of India said that the AAIB report has now led to promoting a presumption of pilot guilt, the Indian Commercial Pilots Association slammed as what they are called as reckless and unfounded insinuation of pilot suicide that has now been floated by some individuals.